Hi, welcome to finally the second video on this channel. I say finally because I made quite a few videos for this channel, but I didn't like how they look. And if you know me from my first channel, if I don't like how something looks, I put it on private. I don't care how many views it gets. Like, if I don't like how it looks, I put it on private because the internet is forever. It's forever. I just want to make a video about how I design stickers. I also have an ebook if you want to check that out on how I design them. And I'm gonna tailor it towards like stickers that like low-key sell. Cause I know it's like, I can sit here and be like, oh, well, so you draw a freaking doodle of a flower, like, yeah, but other people, are they gonna buy it though? Like that's the thing. I use Procreate. I used to use a Wacom tablet to draw, and like drawing on a Wacom pad is not the same thing as using Procreate, because when I first started, if you recognize like my logo, I didn't draw that on an iPad. I drew that on like it was like Huion pad or something. It was either Huion, and I used Photoshop. And I love the pen you get for drawing stuff on Photoshop, but then you have to on Procreate orchestrate and create your own pens. First tip starting on Procreate is I would just go ahead and just start. You can download your own pens, but I would highly recommend to make your own pens, because you can take a pen on Procreate that already kind of like, I don't know, seems like the type of pen you want to use for your art style, and then start drawing with it. But then, you know, and you can like change like the taper and all that stuff, and it's just better to do it yourself, okay? And my next tip is before you even like start drawing a sticker design, I would just go on Pinterest. Forget Instagram, go on Pinterest, you guys. Mark my words, Pinterest is the new Instagram. So much art on there, and if you liked a particular art style on a pen, you'll get suggested more of that art style, and sometimes you'll get these really neat tutorials. I've got a lot of tutorials from Pinterest, and they've actually really helped my art style like a lot. So I would just keep those things in mind. My next tip is to have multiple layers, okay? I'm very fortunate that I have an iPad Pro, so I can have a lot of layers, but if you can invest in an iPad that has more space, or clear out some space, use the crap out of those layers, please, because you can have a sketch and you hate the sketch, and then draw over the sketch, do a sketch of the sketch, and then you start doing the rough draft with the ink and the pen that you actually want. I'm gonna show visual examples because I know I sound like a crazy crackhead. I would recommend doing that because you can make an entire sketch design and then hate all of it except for one element. And then you can duplicate the layer, erase that, and then reuse that for your next layer. Just don't be afraid of those layers. I know like my designs look so simple and dumb, but some of them take like layers, you guys. I'm talking like 50 layers. Nobody come for me in the future talk about she used ChatGPT. Hell no, I don't use no ChatGPT, because I use so many freaking layers. I do different sketches sometimes, and I would recommend this too. Do a sketch on paper. You might be surprised, and you might think like, oh, well, it's gonna look different digitally anyway. Sometimes the hand-drawn sketch you do for a design can end up looking like your final design, but a lot more polished, right? The thing with Procreate, it's fun and dandy and everything, but it'll never create your real physical hand, no matter how hard it tries. I know there's the new pressure thing. I know somebody drew freaking Morgan Freeman hyper realistically on there. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's okay to use the old-fashioned stuff and then translate that technique and put it on your Procreate. Your style will translate a lot better if you do it yourself first and then transfer it, whatever. That's just my tidbit on that. My next tip is have a good color palette that's consistent. Here's the thing, you can like draw whatever, but if you can stick to one color palette that you like, and I'm not saying specific color palette, like you can only use orange and green. No. I mean like the shade and the tint in a weird way. Like for me, I like pastels. I don't know what it is. I like visually seeing those colors, and it makes it a lot more exciting to actually work with it. You don't have to go on the color wheel and find the most interesting complementary colors. Use the colors that you like drop all the crap you learned in art high school, okay, or art college, whatever. Use the colors you like and play with those, okay? Like don't be afraid if it takes like a couple of times to get like a final like draft or something of the color palette that you actually like. That's normal, that's totally okay if anything is preferred. I know a lot of you who actually went to art college or even high school, right? Like we're so used to being rushed. This assignment's due tomorrow, so I hate how this looks and you don't have enough time to restart it. You have time now, right? And it's totally worth the time investment if you just restarted it and recolored your thing in. Just do that. My next tip is keep in mind your composition, because when I wish I had some of the stickers. I mean, like, they're so old, but you can draw something that looks like fantastic. You can draw like an amazing design, but it's not formatted correctly to actually be a sticker design. I know it sounds stupid. Like, you can make literally anything into a sticker. You can make this exact frame a sticker, but it's gonna be square and it kind of like fits more like a bumper sticker for a car. And maybe you want to make a Hydro Flask sticker or something. Those tend to be smaller, and you want like a design that looks small, that looks proportionate small. Like, don't draw like a giraffe, like a long elongated giraffe, unless you're simplifying it to look clever on a water bottle. It takes some time to like get the hang of that, because I still draw designs that I would say personally, like, maybe not the best as a sticker design, because it's only so many places you could fit it and it makes sense visually. I would keep that in mind. Next tip is just like experiment with crap. If I'm being honest, it took like a lot of different sticker papers and stuff like that for me to figure out like, hey, that's not it, that's not it. And also, you don't need a cutting machine. You can hand cut, but if you hand cut, make the hand cutting look consistent. As in, don't make one part of it sharp and then one part of it round, unless you're going for intentionally sloppy, right? Be intentional with everything. If you want a crappy sticker design, stay consistent with the crap, right? With the crappy style. But with the cutting, if you like, because I've seen hand cut stickers that looked very intentional and like kind of like a scrapbook kind of cutout. If it works well with the design itself, go for it. Don't have this hyper realistic painting or digital painting portrait of somebody and make it into a sticker and then cut it like shit, because it's gonna look like, I mean, crap. I should not be cussing on here. It's gonna look like crap, and to be fair, maybe like, prove me wrong, okay, prove me wrong. I wouldn't do it, because you want the physical product itself to match like the aesthetic of the design itself as well. But if you have a cutting machine, use it, but don't abuse that thing, because you don't want your stuff to, like, for me personally, since I do everything by hand, I try not to use the cutting machine too much unless like I have to get a lot of stuff done, because I like adding personality to everything that I cut. It's a doodle, it's a drawing, you know, it's not corporate, I'm not Walmart, so I would just keep those things in mind. And that's pretty much it for now. Obviously, check out my store. I'm trying to upload more designs on there. So I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Also, link in the description if you wanna check out my ebook on how to design stickers. I think it might be on sale right now. It's very helpful. Like, invest in yourself, okay? Like, I didn't learn any of this stuff in college. It just took me like 5 to 6 years to figure it out on my own. And you can get it for like a fraction of a college tuition. So I'm gonna catch you in the next video, and I'll see you. Bye.